The government is lying about jobs and how many jobs have been created. I'm going to show you the evidence for that. Hello, everyone. I am Dr. Chris Martinson of peakprosperity.com. And I want to go through this data with you because it's really important that we get honest truth. And we've been getting lied to, gaslit, otherwise just been treated as if we're complete fools around everything. And so I, for one, am tired of it. In fact, I've lost so much respect. I'm calling this one gooberment, as in a goober. Gooberment lies about the jobs. And so how can I say that? Well, let's start with the data first. This is data that was just released here on October 6th, 2023. And they said, wow, private payrolls were up, payrolls were up 336,000 jobs, just smashing through expectations of just 170,000 jobs created, of which 263,000 were in the private sector, 73,000 in the government sector. By the way, they even had to revise up, see the revisions, plus 119K. Had to revise up past job reports. They're even more than we thought. I think this is all just complete garbage, and I'm going to show you why that is. I just really hate the lies. I hate obvious lies. And the two things that people care about most coming into this election cycle are going to be things like inflation and jobs. Obviously, we care a lot when we don't have a job or we can't afford to live. So these are the things we care about. These are the two areas where in government economic statistics, we get the most gaslighting, the most obvious and transparent lying. So I want to talk about that so we can expose that. Notice as well that wages were up 4.2% year over year. This is important, and here's why. First, if we look at how many jobs were created over the past year, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, and by the way, these are the people that put the BS in the S. The Bureau of Labor Statistics says that, wow, 3.5 million jobs were added over the past year. This is taken as evidence that, oh my gosh, the Biden economy is doing great. But did we add 3.5 million jobs? You know what? I don't think we did. And here's why. Remember, there's just two things we have to talk about. One, 3.5 million jobs. Two, this is more jobs, incremental new jobs. Two, people are earning 4.2% more. All on its own. If we just looked at those two numbers, more people working for more money, you know what else should be going up? Taxes. Death and taxes. Can't escape the taxes. So taxes are a pretty solid number because when you have the FICA payroll taxes, those are set at 12.6% of income, right? That's a set number. So is jobs and wages are going up. FICA taxes should be going up as well as income taxes. This is just how the game works. So let's carry on then and note this. Well, first thing we could note here is when we go to the daily Treasury statement from the U.S. Treasury Department, they have numbers in there which are just bank account numbers as cash. It's not statistically adjusted. No statisticians are slaving away in cubicles trying to make it look better. It is just cash. It's like your bank account. How much money is in there? It's either going in, coming out, all of that. So note here that in September of 2022, the U.S. government has a fiscal year. It doesn't run from January through the end of December. It runs from the beginning of October through the end of September. So this is at the end of fiscal year 2022. We saw that withholding, I've outlined it in yellow there, withheld income and employment taxes, that's FICA, taken together was $3.112 trillion. That's what that number would be down there, or $3,112 billion of taxes that came in the door during fiscal year 2022. So when we go to 2023, when we have 3.5 million more people working for 4.2% more, that number has got to be larger. Is it? Answer is no. That number is smaller. That same number for year-end fiscal 2023 is only 3.095 trillion. So it is 1% less. I will tell you what, this is government math. 3.5 million more people working for 4.2% more salary, higher wages, somehow leads to less tax revenue? How exactly does that work? So who are you going to believe? Me or your lying eyes, right? Who are you going to believe? The tax receipts, which is a number that simply lands in a bank account at the U.S. Treasury Department, or are you going to believe the Bureau of Lying Statistics, right? This government math is really bad. I will tell you that this is just pure BS. It's just more lying. And this lying is really not healthy for you. It's not healthy for me. It's not healthy for the entire country. But this is the level of gaslighting we've been dealing with from pretty much every single major government institution, the CDC, the FDA, all of them, including now the BLS. This should be not this hard, people. We should be able to have numbers we can rely on, but we don't have that. We have numbers that are now used for the purposes of statistical support of the narrative. And that's what everything is in service of now, supporting the narrative. So what can you do about any of this? I'll tell you what. First, come by Peak Prosperity. What is Peak? What are we? Well, we're more than an information company. We actually are a thriving online community of people just like you. Very curious, very open-minded, and we actually care about things like the truth and integrity and things like that. And so, yes, you get a lot of my content over there. In fact, let me show you what we got going on. This is just from today. So October 6th is today. You can see I've written all about this McJobs report here, and I've done a very complete dive on that as well. I had an interview out with Daniel Lacaille on the bursting bubble. You can find that there. Town Square, this is people in our community who are back in our forum areas behind our paywall, developing and talking about all kinds of things like, well, like this Yale developed airborne mRNA thing. We talk about that, but we talk about a lot of things. Notice here, you can see the number of replies and the number of views. It's very active forums back here, but we're talking about things like supply shortages, Geert Vanden Bosch's latest, what's going on with Recession Watch, or that one down there highlighted in yellow about how it looks like every variant may have been intentionally released. That's an explosive topic right there. Just came out with that a couple days ago. So those are the kinds of things we're talking about. Now, if you want to join, you can join now for 50% off. Hey, we always have a no questions asked 30-day money-back guarantee, so there's just no risk. If you want to come and join our community, hey, we would love to have you there because we need strength in numbers. You deserve access to the information that you need in order to make the right decisions to provide and protect for your family. It is time to become resilient. This clown show that's going on right now, it's not going to end well. It's going to get harder and harder, and there are things you can and, dare I say, should do to make sure that you are happy, whole, healthy, resilient, your family, your loved ones are protected. So please come by Peak Prosperity. If that's of interest to you, we would welcome you with open arms. All right. Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll see you next time. Bye.